Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Kylo Ren from The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. There will even be one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. So I know the action pose I want to get him in. I just got to get him there. And I'm going to try something a little different on this one, whereas I think I'm going to have him holding his saber in front of his body. So we're going to see if we can not draw into that so I can add a glow, and we'll see what we can do. So basically we're going to try a different inking technique and see what happens here. I just got to remember to do it. That's the problem, because a lot of times, I get excited with certain things and I forget. Like the backs of stuff, like I'm notorious for, you don't see it because I edit it, but I'm notorious for forgetting, like if there's a dress or something during the back of it between the legs. I just get so excited and I'm ready to start coloring that I forget, and I kind of lose some stuff. So yeah, so I'll see what I can do. Hopefully I can pull this one off. So yeah, and also let's talk about this. I haven't seen the movie. This is way before the movie's out, and I don't watch trailers. Well, I mean, I do. I've seen like the first one, the first teaser, but I don't watch the rest of the trailers because I want to go in fresh, 100% without seeing all the stuff the trailers show, because sometimes trailers show way too much, and you see the entire movie before you even get to go in. And some people like that. I don't. I like going in not knowing what to expect, or not seeing the entire thing. But some trailers are bad like that. I mean, I can't remember which one I just saw, but it practically showed you Invisible Man. I just saw the trailer for the Invisible Man, and again, I don't think it's out yet by the time you watch this, but it showed practically the entire movie on the trailer. And it's a shame, because it probably would have been a good movie if they didn't show you absolutely everything, but they did. And I just don't like that personally. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm just going to get back to my drawing here and see if I can get him in the look that I wanted. And pull this off. But yeah, but like I was saying, is I don't watch trailers, just because I'm too excited, and I want to go in without knowing anything. All right, that doesn't look too bad. I think what I'm going to do is try a little different of an inking technique look too, because it's such a black costume. Let me find some pictures. I'm going by the Vanity Fair pictures. That's all I really have to go by, because again, this is before the movie, so I only have so much to go by. Anyway, it's such a just a black material costume that there's not a lot of detail. So I'm going to attempt to try to come up with some kind of cool, different inking style. And not really style, but just what's the word I'm looking for? Look, so it's not just a line, because there's no armor, there's no knee pads, there's boots, we'll add a little bit of that, but I'm going to try something different with the way it looks. Okay. All right, so let me draw his, it's not too bad with the hands. Let me try to draw something over here. Let's see, he's gonna be like, let's see, his knuckles will be up here. Be holding his lightsaber like this. Okay, but it's going to disappear behind the saber too. So this is what I was talking about, that I gotta try to, let's see, try to not draw here. Something like that. So that means do something like this. Nope, that's way off. And this is why sketching helps, because I just completely got that wrong. All right, so for something like that, I'm gonna have to not draw over his body like that. So I'm gonna see if I can pull that off. And that way when I add the color, I could do like a glow or something and the lines of his clothes won't show, you know? Does that make sense? Well, it will when you see what I'm doing. Trust me. All right, so let me find a good picture of his mask. Let me see, let me draw his head. This is something cool to know about too. Because this is a person under a mask, mostly with Darth Vader is the story I'm going to talk about. The mask is huge. People don't realize it until they see like the size of it, but it was huge because it's over someone's head. Not just the size of someone's head, you know? All right. So there you go. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I will say this. I'm glad they put the mask back together, because growing up in a Darth Vader world where the mask was never taken off. Yes, I know. It came off at the end. I get it. I don't think it's necessary. And I think nowadays, I'm going to go into my old man rant. Nowadays, there's too many actors who need to have their face seen. And so they take their masks off. My biggest complaint, Thor. Thor should have had his helmet on the entire time. I think he wore it for like 2 seconds in the very first Thor movie and then never put it back on. That was a shame, because it's a beautiful, beautiful Viking looking winged hat, but never wore it because the actor, needs their screen time. They need to be seen. So I'm just glad they brought it back, is what I'm going to say. Okay, I think I'm good with this. Let me erase some of these darker lines, because I'm going to erase the sketch lines and leave just like the confidence lines is what I call them. And yeah, I think that will work. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to erase the faint lines, leave some of the darker lines as a guide, a ghost of an image to let me draw, and then get us going with the Sharpies. Okay. Oh, the other thing too, my eraser is just smearing everything. The other thing too are the cracks in his mask. I might add those with color, because it might be a little too small to add with Sharpies. So I might let color take care of that. Okay, I think I am ready to go. Yeah. Okay, so I say we welcome all the skippers, everybody that skipped over to the Sharpie portion of the video. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do one of these every single day. Not Kylo Ren, but a drawing every day, so you can follow along, play along, and draw with me. I'm going to be using the fine point, but mostly the pen. Let's start off with the pen because I can do the finer details that I can't do with this big old baby, right? So I've sketched the entire thing out. I'm gonna have his lightsaber in front of him. So I'm gonna try a different inking technique to not draw all the way up to it so we can do some kind of glow with color. So bear with me. I've sketched it all out and I've erased most of it, but I can see a ghost of an image that'll guide me to where we're gonna go. So I'm gonna do some of the details on the mask and then we'll build up with this. Okay, so I'm gonna do the eyes first, just to see if I got it at the right angle. Something like this. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, I'm gonna thicken it up just a little bit. And it's gonna be colored in black anyway, so it's not too, I'm not too worried about it. I can color it in right now, but I'd rather just finish up the drawing, let coloring take care of that. So, you know what, let me try to find, I was talking about this during the sketch. Let me try to find, he's got a lot of the cracks, you know, where it was built back together. So let me see if I could do some of those and we'll build around that. Okay, so if I do something like this, let's see. I want to try to keep it nice and thin, but I also don't want to do too much because, like I said, I kind of want color to really stand out and make this, you know, glow and make it look like it was welded back together, you know. Oh, the other thing too I talked about in the sketch is that I don't watch the trailers. I've seen some. I've seen like the very first tease, but that's all I watch. I don't watch anything else. So I really don't know anything else about the mask or why. If it's put back together, it looks like it from what I've seen. And the picture I'm looking at now, it's like the toy, you know, that shows these marks all over it. So we're gonna do something like that. So now that I have that defined, I just did some lines that I can color in, something like this. I'll go back and draw the rest of it and try to follow the sketch that I did, okay? So, let's see, so I'm gonna do, let me see, where's his, I had a good picture of him looking down, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna do the, I guess the little breather, the respirator, and I'm gonna pick up from where the line is hollow, so I can put color inside there. So I'm gonna come down here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna thicken it up just a little bit. Same thing over here, that's pretty thick. Then I'm gonna draw that bottom edge, something like this, and then reconnect it up here at the top. Same thing down here on that side. And then the rest of this is kind of this mishmash of sculpted craziness. So I'm just gonna try to replicate it as much as I can, and then we'll go from there, you know? So he's got these, let's see. What's funny is that's not that different looking from all this weird stuff I did, right? So it's gonna be hard to tell what's what. So I'm just gonna draw some mishmash of lines going across. And I don't think I'm gonna try to make these hollow. I'm gonna make these thick, like this is the edge of that. You know, those lines that are going across. I'm just gonna do it like this and build off of that. Again, I'm gonna try to pick it up during those so I can color those in. Okay, and I can't draw every single one of them. I want to, but you know, it's gonna be hard to do with this tiny Sharpie. If you're using a pencil, go for it. But I don't want this to bleed and go into each other like that, like I just did. So to avoid doing any more of that, I think that's all I'm gonna do for those lines. You get the idea. You know where they are. And I'm just gonna go ahead and build the mask from here. So I'm gonna come up. Let's do both sides. We'll do those ears hanging off in a second. And then I'm gonna build to the edge of the mask, which is gonna round on the top of his head, something like this. And it's helping us that it's got those cracks because that'll keep it from having to be having to be perfectly domed, you know. I'm going to do this as a weird technique, something like that, just to show that it's got that it's dented, you know. It's not perfect. All right, I like that. That came out really good. Okay, so I'm going to draw those little ears that are hanging off the back, like that. I'm going to thicken it up just a little bit, because I'm about to switch over to this Sharpie and it's super thick. So I'm just going to try to match what's about to happen with that big Sharpie, basically is what I'm doing. All right, I'm happy with that. We'll draw where that connects in the back right there. There's a little back to those wings. Booyah! Mine's awesome. How's yours? You happy with yours? I'm happy with mine. So I'm going to switch over to the other Sharpie now, and let's see what I can do here. So because most of it's going to be black, I'm going to try to play around with a little bit of technique on the arm, and we'll see what we can do here. So I'm going to draw kind of a cape hanging over his shoulder like this, and he's got a hood, or at least in some of the pictures he does. So I'm going to draw something like as if he does have the hood kind of flapped over, you know, something like this. And we'll do the other side over here, same thing, but this one's going to go over his shoulder. So let me see if I can do something like that. Okay. And we'll draw just a little bit of like where his neck is, something like this. So oh, you know what? Before we do any further, well, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, bear with me here. I'm going to draw his cape like this, and I'm going to stop right there because I need to draw his arm to his lightsaber, because I want to draw his lightsaber first, but I don't want to just float it for you. Like, you need to know how far down that needs to be, so you're not drawing the lightsaber way down here by his knees. You know what I mean? So his shoulder is going to be right here, and for his arm, I'm going to do something like this. Now that's the material. It's got this weird wavy layers to it, and so I'm following the sketch that I did. So I'm getting the anatomy, and I'm just, I'm going to stop right there. Hang on, and I'm just drawing. This is going to be so difficult because that's where the lightsaber is, and I don't want to draw to the edge of the lightsaber so I can glow it. Bear with me. Again, just bear with me. So I'm going to pick it up and pick it back up down here, and it's going to go around his wrist. But this is where his hand is going to be. So we'll draw the fingers going around the lightsaber like this. Okay, so it's kind of like that. We're going to draw another one like this, another finger like that, and like this. Now, that's all I can draw because of the way we have the lightsaber in the hand. So I need to draw the lightsaber now. So I'm just kind of gonna kind of guess at the look of it. I mean, I know what it looks like, but the shape for the edge. Okay, and so there's his hand wrapped around the lightsaber, and so the back edge is coming back here, something like this, and it's going to go out to that little look that he has, that little flared out end piece, something like that. And then he's got the top part that does this. All right, now here's where we're going to always cap your Sharpie. I do that because I'm going to pick it right back up, but always close that. That's a good habit to get into. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of detail just for his, for what we're doing. He's that little wire that's all over the place, and he's got it all cuckoo and whatnot. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do. So I'm going to draw the lightsaber, and so I'm just going to kind of do something like this, just to represent. And look, I'm not connecting it either. I'm just kind of loosely drawing where it would be shooting out. You know what I mean? So here, I changed it. It's supposed to be like this, but look how that angle doesn't go with that blade. So I'm going to try to re-angle it like this and see if I can pull this off. I'm not going to use a straight edge. I'm just using this as a guide of which way I want it to go. All right, so I'm going to kind of Okay, that'll work, that'll work. So I'm just kind of doing something like this just to represent the edge of it. Okay, there. Now I know what I'm gonna draw, what I'm gonna, or where, okay, so like this is what I was talking about. I didn't want to draw it all the way to the blade, and you'll see why in a second. Now, let's keep going. So leave a little gap like that if you can, and let's keep going. All right, so I'm gonna draw his let's see, let's draw his belt. No, sorry. Let's draw, I'm all over the place. I'm just so excited, okay? So let's draw his chest down. I'm all over the place, all over the place. So I'm gonna draw his shirt like this to his belt, all right? The belt's gonna go across like this. I forgot to draw the center part like that. There we go. So now I've got a few little things I can draw off of. All right, so sorry to be all over the place like that, but I'm just trying to find you some places to build off of so you're not just floating your lines that you draw, okay? So there's a seam like that for his shirt. So here's what I was talking about too. Let's draw this other arm, finish this up. So I'm gonna draw kind of like this to his elbow and pick it up right about there for the arm. So I think what I'm gonna do, let's see if we can pull this off. Just kind of do just some lines across for, and look, I'm haphazardly drawing them. I'm not hitting every single line like that, but I am just kind of spacing them out just to draw his like layered look to his sleeve. But again, look, don't go all the way to that blade. We're kind of floating. That edge you can go to, but it's the color that I want to float around. That's what I'm trying to get at. So, all right, here we go. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about those lines. We'll come back to that. So let's do the same thing over here for this sleeve. I'm following my sketch, doing a little bit of stair stepping for the layered look. Again, just kind of following my sketch. Not too much, that was too much. That's starting to look like fur. And then I'm gonna close it up like that. Come in here, and the reason I'm doing this is because, again, it's mostly black. So I'm just kind of giving you something just to draw, just to have a cool inking black and white technique. If you're doing this with pencil, you don't have to do this. I'm just kind of giving you something to do for a black and white ink look, you know? You ever heard of Inktober? This is where you do stuff like this. You just draw with Sharpies and pens, and you just have a cool contrast. See how we got this black and white ink look to it? All right, here we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw his hand over here, and I got him just kind of floating out like this, almost kind of like a, you know, I don't want to say Jedi, but Sith, you know, angry pose. So I'm gonna draw his thumb in here like this, and again, he's gonna be mostly in a glove, so all this detail is gonna be kind of lost. But we're gonna do something like this. I got his other fingers kind of bent in. His pinky in like that. Just a little dramatic, you know, hand pose. All right. Again, cover that up. Don't just leave it lying out. I'm gonna pick mine right back up. That's why I did that. Okay, just draw some finger lines. Just to, you know, make it come alive. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so again, here we go. Got to be careful right around there. So I'm gonna come down here for his like little skirt that he's got with his shirt that hangs out more is really what it is. It's just a long shirt. Okay, but again, gonna stop right around there, pick it back up underneath. So almost imagine like there's a line before you get to it, and that's where you want to stop. Okay. So it's kind of, you gotta think this one through. This one's a thinker. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna draw a few little creases and folds from where his, you know, he's got his shirt bent from where he's bent over. Okay. So here I'm gonna draw his cape over this leg. And let's go ahead and do this side so we can, you know, not have this just floating anymore. So I'm gonna do his cape like this, and I can go to this part of the lightsaber, because that part's not glowing. It's the light that we want glowing. Okay, and I'm gonna do down something like this. I got it flowing, you know, very, very dramatic, very, very Sith, very fighting. Okay, I'm gonna stop there because I gotta draw his leg, and I don't want to go too far and accidentally draw over where the leg's supposed to be. So let's draw that leg. So I'm just going to, again, stop right there around the light, and I'm going to draw his knee, and then his boots, right? Let me double check this. Then his boots are tucked in. See if I can find a good picture. Yeah, he's got tucked in boots. And so it's going to come down like this to the ankle. We'll draw this other side like that. And then this kind of bent, stretched out. Going to do the heel to the toe. It's just a regular old boot, so we don't have to do anything special. But I do want to draw some crease lines. Something like this. Just to show that it's got folds and bends, okay? All right, almost done. So we're just gonna come in here, draw his other part of his leg, and he's kind of stretched out. Let's see, and I'm drawing the inside of his leg here because, like I said, this part of the cape is gonna fly over it. So let's draw, it's coming down here. Again, pick it up and just kind of draw something like that. Come in here for his leg. That's where it's going to be over his leg. So we're just going to come down like this. And then I can draw his leg like that. See where it's hanging over? That's what I was trying for. So right there is where his boot's going to start back up again. So we're just going to angle it out like that. Something like this. So see, he's got this one kind of bent in a little bit, you know, a little exaggerated pose. Okay, so I'm gonna again draw some creases for his legs. Let's do some over here too while we can, but not go into the blade. You know, just be careful like we were doing. Okay. Okay, so this one's kind of at a weird angle. I'll admit it is kind of strange, but you know, we're just gonna do something like that, just because he's being dramatic and has it bent a certain way. All right. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we just got to imagine the boot line is right there. So unfortunately, that's all we can do for that. So, all right, that's not touching. That's not touching. We're just gonna fade it out like that. Something like that. And there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Kylo Ren from The Rise of Skywalker. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.